Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Hansard and welcome to Race and Ethnic Relations, Sociology 235. Today I want to walk you through the syllabus and welcome you to the course. I know you're able to read the syllabus, but I thought it might be helpful to have a brief presentation of what I expect from the course. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Stephanie Hansard. Please call me Stephanie or Professor. My goals for this course are to teach the importance of racial and ethnic equity and to foster productive discussion. So when we meet in person, I'd like you to be prepared to tell me your name, what you would like us to call you, and what your goals are for the course. I want to briefly go over the course syllabus with you and tell you what to expect. This is a global perspectives course, so we're going to be talking about a global perspective on race and ethnic relations. Some topics we'll discuss include how are race and ethnicity socially constructed, how do sociologists study race and ethnic inequality, and how do race and ethnic structures differ globally. So since this is a global perspectives course, we're not just going to focus on the United States. We're going to talk about how racial and ethnic structures cut across societies and differ from culture to culture. This course has a hybrid structure. Once a week, on either Tuesday or Thursday, you will attend class in person, you'll listen and take notes, and you'll actively participate in discussion. On the day you're not in class, either Tuesday or Thursday, I expect you to work independently, to read all readings carefully. You'll complete a journal entry, which we'll discuss in more detail in a moment, and you'll take a reading quiz. The textbooks for this course are A Global View of Race and Racism by Judy Root Allett. It's available on Amazon or Chegg or thrift books from about $20. You'll also be reading Racism Without Racists, Colorblind Racism and the Persistence of Racial Inequality in America, 5th edition by Eduardo Bonilla Silva. It's also available online for very little money. But it is very important that you buy the 5th edition. I'm asking you to read the preface to the 5th edition as part of the assigned readings, and you won't understand what I'm trying to get you to understand if you don't get the 5th edition. Ordinarily, it's okay to buy older editions of textbooks, but not in this case. The grading of the course. So you'll take 3 exams. 2 in-class exams, and a final. They'll each be worth 15% of your course grade for a total of 45%. The tests will include short answer and long answer questions. So you'll be writing between 3 sentences and a couple of paragraphs per answer. Your tests are open note, but not open book. So since I'm asking you to do essay questions in which you'll reference readings and lecture discussion, etc., I'm allowing you to use your class notes as a reference, but I don't want you to use the textbook for definitional questions or anything like that. Exams are also cumulative. Every exam is cumulative, meaning that it will cover all the material taught from the beginning of the course to date. I won't generally directly retest definitional questions on subsequent exams, but all the concepts we're talking about in this course build on each other. If you don't understand definitions of race and ethnicity, you won't be able to critically discuss them and apply them to new knowledge in future sections of the course. So for that reason, I just go ahead and tell you that you should expect to be tested over everything every time. Throughout the course, you'll keep a journal. I expect you to complete 5 of 10 journal prompts that you will have the opportunity to write throughout the semester, and they'll each count for 5% of your grade. for a total of 25%. I only want you to complete 5. So you can't, for example, complete all 10 for extra credit or complete all 10 and ask me to take your best 5. This is to help me manage my grading load. I'm simply not able to manage grading 10 essay prompts from each student. So please limit yourself to 5 essay prompts. You can look through the syllabus ahead of time and choose the 5 that you're most inclined to write about. Each essay prompt or journal entry will be a critical response to the week's readings. What that means is I don't want you to merely summarize the week's readings and tell me what the readings were about. I already know that. I want you to analyze the readings, compare and contrast each author's take on the topic, and share a little bit about your experience of the readings. Journal entries should be 1.5 to 2 pages double spaced, and you should submit them on Moodle. Please do not email your papers to me. This clutters my inbox and keeps me from grading in a timely fashion. Each week you will take a reading quiz for a total of 10 reading quizzes, each worth 2% of your grade, for a total of 20% of your course grade. Each quiz will contain multiple choice and true-false questions. You may have unlimited attempts at each quiz. You can take it as many times as you like, but you must earn 100% to get credit. These quizzes I expect to be open book and open note. Finally, you'll write a final reflection paper worth 10% of your grade. You can use your journal entries as a reference, or you can include journal prompts that you didn't end up turning in for a grade. But I expect you to write a 5-page critical reflection of your entire experience of the course. Some things you might reflect on are what you expected to learn versus what you actually learned. What surprised you about what you learned in the course? How did the readings individually contribute to your knowledge? So this will be your kind of final paper that you'll turn in at the very end of the course. Finally, some policies. The first policy I want to discuss is classroom behavior. I expect you to arrive to class on time and stay the entire time. Avoid distractions and disruptions. For hygiene and health reasons, we're not to eat and drink in classrooms on campus. This isn't my policy. It's literally this college's policy. By the same token, I want you to avoid other distracting and disruptive behaviors such as sleeping, side conversations, and using your cell phone or computer except as assigned. I expect you to wear a mask over your mouth and nose at all times. If I see you without a mask, I will give you one, or with a mask improperly worn, I will give you one warning, after which I will ask you to leave. I also expect you to use kind and respectful language at all times. So it is perfectly okay to disagree with me or to disagree with each other, but I expect you to show your colleagues and me the same respect you would want to be shown. For details on this, you can read the section on appropriate language in the syllabus. My late work policy. Because we're living through a global pandemic, I'm inclined to be pretty lenient on late work, but that doesn't mean that I'll accept any assignment at any point during the semester. So my late work policy is basically that you have to communicate with me. You can't just not say anything about a missed assignment and then turn it in 6 weeks late. That won't do it all. You must let me know ahead of time, when possible, that you need an extension on an assignment. I'm inclined to grant extensions, but you have to actually tell me to expect your paper late, or ask me for permission to submit a paper late if it's a major grade. You must communicate with me about making up work if you miss work unexpectedly. So I want you to contact me within 5 days of the missed assignment deadline. This is 5 calendar days, including weekends, to make a plan to catch up with me. So if you miss a deadline on a Thursday, I expect you to have communicated with me by Tuesday. I also want to warn you that late work is not just a problem because I might not grade your work. It's a problem because there's a lot of work for this class, and it will pile up very quickly if you fall behind. Also, each assignment builds on each other assignment. So if you fall behind, you may have a harder time catching up than you expect. So please try to stay on track and let me know immediately if there's a problem. If you're having problems that are consistently keeping you from succeeding in the course, please schedule a meeting with me so we can discuss it and make a better plan. Accessibility. I want to make this course as accessible as possible for everyone. So if you have accommodations for learning difference, please meet with me immediately to discuss it. We can meet via Zoom or Teams, or we can meet in person in my office. I have it set up so that we can maintain 6 feet distance. If you need an accommodation but don't have one, you can email accessibility@bsc.edu, or if you urgently need an accommodation and can't get in touch with accessibility, you can email Dean Brandon Brown at brbrown@bsc.edu. If you don't need a formal accommodation, but you need me to adjust something, if the alt text on the PowerPoint slides isn't working for you, if you need a seat near the front, if something else is going on that would help you learn that I can handle without an accommodation, please discuss it with me. I will do my best to accommodate people's learning needs within reason. The course schedule represents my plan for teaching the course. To the best of my knowledge, what's in the schedule is what I'm going to do. But you should be aware that changes to the course schedule may become necessary. We have no idea what's going to happen week by week. So if changes become necessary, I promise you the following things. I will not make the course more difficult. If I change a reading, because, for example, a news headline breaks and there's an issue we need to discuss, I'll substitute one reading for another reading of similar difficulty. I won't, for example, add any graded materials to the course. How the course is graded is how the course is graded. I may add extra credit options, but I would never take away an opportunity for credit. And finally, I will discuss all changes before they take effect. So there will be no surprises. If I have to make a change to the course schedule, I will update the syllabus on Moodle and let you know that I've done that. And I will discuss it in person in class when possible. That's all I wanted to tell you about the course syllabus. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or anything you want to talk to me about, please let me know immediately via email. You can also schedule an appointment with me to sit down and talk in person, or a virtual appointment with me. So unless you specify that you want an in-person appointment, I'm inclined to make all appointments virtual. But if you want to sit down in person because you have something to show me, or because we just need that, that's okay. So please make an appointment with me to discuss any questions you have about the course or about the syllabus, or really about anything. My office hours are in the syllabus, but apart from that, I'm pretty flexible on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I handle other office hours by appointment. So I look forward to meeting each of you in person next week, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.